Doctors, the gods who save lives or the devils profiting from them? This is a question many of us have started asking as healthcare becomes more about business and less about humanity. We trust doctors with our lives. But today, stepping into a hospital feels less like seeking care and more like entering a corporate structure, where every test, every scan, every procedure comes with a price tag. But let me make one thing clear: not all doctors are corrupt. Many dedicate their lives to saving ours, working tirelessly to serve humanity. But there's also a system in place, one that thrives on money, insurance loopholes, and commissions. It's a system that turns hospitals into business enterprises, where patients are seen not as humans in need, but as revenue opportunities. Let's take a step back. Think about the 1990s or early 2000s. Do you remember how medical care used to be? You had a family doctor, someone who knew your history, someone who prescribed only what was necessary, someone who genuinely cared about your well-being. Treatments were simple, costs were reasonable, and trust was the foundation of medicine. Now, look around. Multi-specialty hospitals are everywhere. Chains of hospitals dominate cities, aggressively expanding like corporate brands. It's no longer just about healthcare. It's about market share, profit margins, and yearly revenue targets. And the worst part? You and I, as patients, have become a part of this business model without even realizing it. Have you ever noticed how hospitals push for unnecessary tests and scans? You visit for a minor issue, and suddenly you're advised to do 5 different tests, each costing thousands. Why? Because hospitals and diagnostic labs have tie-ups. A portion of what you pay gets kicked back to the referring doctor or the hospital itself. Then there's medical insurance, something designed to help people afford treatment, but now manipulated to inflate bills. Have you ever wondered why a procedure that costs 30,000 rupees for someone paying in cash suddenly costs 1 rupee, 50,000 if covered by insurance? The reason is simple: hospitals know insurance companies will pay, so they charge more. But in the end, it's the patients who suffer, as premiums rise and out-of-pocket expenses become unmanageable. And then there's the pharmaceutical industry, perhaps the most well-oiled part of the medical business. Pharma companies don't just manufacture medicines, they control the way they are prescribed. Medical representatives visit doctors regularly, not just to inform them about new drugs, but to push expensive, high-margin medications, often offering commissions, gifts, and even luxury trips in return. Why do you think some doctors always prescribe branded medicines when there are cheaper, equally effective generic alternatives? The answer is simple: incentives. But the problem doesn't end there. Diagnostic labs play their own role in this system. Ever wondered why some doctors insist that you visit a specific lab, even when there are multiple options available? It's because they have a commission deal. Every test you take at that lab earns them money. It's not about accuracy or better results, it's about profit sharing. This entire network, hospitals, insurance companies, pharma giants, and diagnostic labs, works together, ensuring that patients, the very people who need care, are squeezed for every rupee possible. This is the medical mafia at work, and unfortunately, it's thriving. But amidst this dark reality, let's not forget the true saviors. There are thousands of doctors who still uphold the values of their profession, who work long hours, who perform free surgeries, who dedicate their lives to saving others. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw firsthand how doctors put their own lives at risk, working in impossible conditions, sometimes without proper pay or protection. These are the real gods in white coats, and their existence is proof that medicine is still a noble profession. So, what can we do to protect ourselves from the business side of healthcare? First, always get a second opinion before agreeing to expensive treatments. Just because a doctor recommends surgery doesn't always mean it's necessary. Second, ask for generic medicines instead of branded ones. They work just as well and cost significantly less. Third, carefully review your medical bills. Hospitals often add hidden charges, and if something seems unnecessary, question it. Fourth, if a doctor insists on a specific lab, ask why. You have the right to choose where you get tested. Healthcare should be about saving lives, not making money. We, as patients, need to stay informed and cautious. The medical industry needs accountability, and change starts with awareness. So the real question is, how do we bring back trust and ethics in medicine? How do we ensure that doctors remain gods and don't become devils under the pressure of a profit-driven system? Let's start by asking questions, by spreading awareness, and by demanding a healthcare system that prioritizes people over profits. Because in the end, human life should always matter more than money.